And welcome to the Eagles Sports Network. Adam Mendoza, along with head football coach Tom Lombardo. Earlier this week, we talked about the big announcement of St. Edward High School and the football program becoming a Nike elite school and working in a partnership program with the school and Nike. But today, it's kind of like an early Christmas gift during all this pandemic issues that we're dealing. Hopefully, everybody is safe and being socially distanced as we try to get through this really rough time in all of our lives. Coach, today we're going to talk about the 2020 football schedule. And like the NFL, when those schedules come out, it's like Christmas for football fans. For high school football fans, boy, this is a big deal when you get to talk about the high school football season and who the opponents are this year.
Yeah, we're real excited about our schedule. It's challenging as always. Great schedule. If we garner enough victories, it should qualify us for Week 11, which is always the goal of making a schedule, because you can't, compete for a state title if you don't become one of the 8 teams that qualify in your region.
Well, as we get set for this, the opening of the season, we get to start at home with a familiar foe coming out of the Washington, D.C. area in Woodson High School, HD Woodson High School.
Yeah, they've agreed to come back. They're always a good athletic team, and it's a good opener, for us. I think, this year in particular, we'll have fewer number of seniors than we've had in the past, and be somewhat young in comparison to what we've been in the past. So I think kind of starting the year off at home is going to be a good thing for us.
Well, then, as we get ready for weeks 2, 3, and 4, you're talking about a grind, and not only a grind, but on the road. You start off week 2 on September 4th at Euclid High School, followed by another road trip to the east side on September 11th against Menor, and then you follow that in week 4 on September 19th against Elder. 3 straight games on the road, all 3 teams playoff participants.
Yeah, of course, we have been familiar foe with Euclid in the playoffs, I think 4 of the last 5 years. Obviously, Menor, we played like 4 times in 2 years, literally a 2-year span. And, Elder's a yearly opponent that made the state finals last year. So no cupcakes there, that's for sure. We have a lot of respect for all 3 programs. And, if you come out with more wins than losses there, 2-1 out of that, I think you're doing pretty good.
I think that's really one of the toughest 3-game stretches that this team has seen in quite some time, going back probably to maybe 2011, when the football team, after winning the state title, had to go on the road, and it was going out of the state. And we did that a couple times just a few years ago, going to Illinois and Indiana. Then we're going to come back home on September 26th against Royalty Institute, another team out of the D.C. area, a new team to our schedule that we've never seen. What do you know about this Royalty Institute?
Not much. NCAA we played last year, and I think they played each other. Like I said, with the Nike program, with their athletic department with Kevin Hickman, but Mike Fink was really instrumental in solidifying these next, few games coming up for us in terms of Royalty Institute and Benedictine. So I don't know much. I'm just glad we got a game, because, about 2 weeks ago, we didn't have a game in week 5. So we have a game. We're going to learn more about them as we go. I know they're a team that wants to go out and experience for their kids to travel and come play a program like us, is what their coach and principal sort of alluded to. So we'll learn more about them as we go here. They're fairly new in my mind as well.
And then we're going to go back on the road again to take on Benedictine, as you were saying. But we'll be playing them not at Bedford Bearcat Stadium, but at Euclid Stadium.
From what I understand is they made an agreement to play their home games at Euclid now. So we get 2 games at Euclid, which really is right up the shoreway and not too far away. So hey, the way I'm looking at this thing now is any game within 20 minutes is about a home game for us. Whether we travel 3 minutes to Lakewood Stadium or 15, 20 minutes somewhere else in the area, I'll take it.
And then a big Week 7 matchup against our rival, St. Ignatius. The date is yet to be determined on that one, but that is always a great matchup. And really, there's not much when you have to say St. Ed's and St. Ignatius.
It speaks for itself right there. You know, it was a classic last year in a sense that no one would have thought that, you know, that game would be played to 7-3. But I say in rivalry games, you really never know. The game takes on a life of its own. You know, in terms of maybe the heightened nerves of the guys or something. You know, and sometimes that leads to like some crazy high scoring affairs. You know, where teams are just scoring, and other times it leads to stuff like that. And all of a sudden you look at halftime and it's 0-0, and we're like, what's happening here? So it was fun to be part of that, and the grind went out like that. I think it helped our team, you know, be able to win games like that, like we did. You know, and then you know, obviously you know, the tough one that we lose in the playoffs. We knew we were going to be in another game like that along the way, obviously, for our goal to win a state title, and you know, didn't get it done. But needless to say, the game takes on a life of its own. It's awesome to be part of. The kids compete like crazy, and it's just a fun weekend.
And then we go into weeks 8, 9, and 10. We'll be back home against Football North. And then we head back down to Cincinnati. So 2 trips to Cincinnati this year to take on the Moeller Crusaders on Saturday, October 26th.
Yeah, and you know, Moeller's got a new coach again from the college ranks. He's a head college coach and that coach in high school. So you know, Moeller's not going to be down long. They had some good young kids, and that's not going to be an easy trip. Obviously, never is going down there. Although we've had some recent success against them with a run of victories. However, you know, that's it's never easy to go to Cincinnati for either of those. So right there, that makes it tough. And you know, the kids, you really, it's such a cliche to say you take them one game at a time, but you really have to. There is no other way to do it.
And Coach, finally, we end the season with at home on Halloween against Akron-Hoban, a team that has been in the state playoffs and multiple-time state finalists, a very tough program out of the Akron area. It's been quite a few years since we last played them.
Yeah, I think we played them in 2016 at their place, and we had the block a field goal at the end. We won, I believe, 10-7. 13-10 or something like that. But you know, Coach Stroll does a great job. Obviously, with their program, they've been state champs for the last 5 years, I think, in Division II. And we're glad they agreed to Holy Cross Schools. We know it's going to be a war. Week 10 game, the playoff game right there. And who knows with our schedules, it may come down to that. You know, to get in. You know, it's the nature of the beast of just what we have to do when you're not in the league, and it's just hard to find games. You got to take whoever's available, and on those terms, you know, Euclid and Benedictine, I think, are 1-year contracts. Hoban's a multi-year one, so we'll have them around a little bit more. But each year, you know, Kevin Hickman and Mike Fink and Nicole, they work their butts off, and myself to try and get 10 games, because usually we only have about 4 or 5 coming into the season. We're usually looking for about 5 games each year.
And that is very tough with the program at St. Ed's, and really how it's been over the last, really, if you look at it, over the last 10 years, has been one of the elite football programs in the state of Ohio.
Yeah, I think, you know, I think winning 4 to 11, you know, 10 or 4 of 9, whatever it's been in Division I, sort of gives you that status.
Well, Coach, we want to thank you for joining us and talking about the upcoming football schedule. I know things are still so much in the air as it pertains to the pandemic and stuff like that, but I know you and your players are working out at home, doing individual training. You see it on Twitter. Everybody trying to get together in some way, socially distancing themselves, but trying to get together, work on that common goal of 1, having a very good regular season, 2, getting to the playoffs, and 3, looking for that state title.
That's the goal, Adam. Thank you very much, and enjoyed seeing you, albeit through a computer.
Not a problem, Coach. We'll be talking to you soon. And we want to thank everybody for joining us as we were talking about and releasing the 2020 St. Edward Eagle football schedule. My name's Adam Mendoza. Along with me is Coach Tom Lombardo. Thank you for joining us on the Eagles Sports Network.